In this video, we'll demonstrate some of the tools for working with DEM, or digital elevation model data, in PCSWM. To begin with, let's turn off our subcatchments layer so we can see a little bit more detail on the DEM. We've loaded a DEM and we've thematically rendered it and added shadows to create more relief to be able to view the relative elevations. Let's zoom in to part of the DEM. This is part of the flood analysis components in PCSWM, in which we're generating a flood inundation polygon. But for this example, let's zoom in a little bit further, and we will use the measure tool and draw a measure line, which is just simply a way of measuring distances. But since we have a DEM loaded, PCSWM will automatically give you a transect information from sampling the DEM as it draws the measure line. Okay, we can move this measure line and keep sampling if we wanted to, and you can see how the DEM keeps sampling along the way. If we wanted to create a new one, and you can see how quickly we are pulling off that data off of the DEM. Now, if we wanted to add this to a transect, to create transects, we could manually do this by simply selecting a transect and right-clicking and copying the data. And we could paste that into Excel, or we could go into our transects and create a new transect and paste the data in. However, what's probably more useful is, let me cancel out of that, is using a layer of defined cut lines. And I've got a layer that I can turn on that we've created, and PCSWM can sample these cut lines. It can actually create the cut lines automatically for you and sample them and create actually the links and nodes for a natural channel drainage system with all the transects that it'll create. You can also come up with average transect cross sections if you have multiple cut lines along the length of a link. And we can also pull elevation data for point layers. So for example, if we go to our tools browser and we go to the calculators, set DEM elevation allows us to, well, in this case we'll use our node layer from the SWM junctions layer, and you can specify the DEM layer that's going to be the source and the attribute that we're going to assign that DEM value to, and click on Analyze, and it'll go through the whole layer, and for all the points create or sample ground elevations from the DEM. Okay, so that's a quick introduction to some of the DEM tools that we have. For additional information into flood inundation analysis, we'll have other videos on that subject.